George Church is a geneticist, professor at Harvard.
I don't think we have too much data. We might have too little understanding, too little wisdom, but we don't have too much data, we have too little. And as an illustration, let's say that I do, well, first of all, how many people in here have their full genome sequence? I'm not talking about SNPs, I'm talking about their full genome sequence. I do. Yes. But anyway, you all should, and hopefully, maybe we can have that as part of the conversation. If I were to sequence your genome at 1x coverage, that means I do exactly one base pair on average from you, we'll be missing most of your genome. We'll be missing maybe at least 37% of it, probably half of it. And so by carefully trying to pick some minimal amount, we don't get enough. If we do 100x your genome, we have such a high quality version of it that even though it has 6 billion base pairs in it, we call that a gigabyte among friends, you only have to store it in a compressed form, which is 3 megabytes. Okay, 3 megabytes, hardly even worth considering. If you do everybody on the planet, then you're talking about 70 petabytes, which is like down from exabytes, down from zettabytes. So it's 70 times 10 to the 15th. A zettabyte is times 10 to the 21st. It's really compact. And in fact, it's way less than the amount of internet traffic that we're already dealing with. And it's really highly interpretable. Fear. Okay. Good. So let's start with the fear and then we'll go to the actionable. So let's say the most fearful thing that I hear from the genome is I'm going to get Huntington's. I'm going to get, or some terrible disease for which there's no cure, and it's highly predictive, but there's no cure for it. That's the most fearful thing I can think of. That means you have a bad relationship with your physician. Because if you can't tell your physician what you do and do not want to hear, hey doc, I don't want to hear whether I have cancer or not, then you haven't communicated or you haven't got a physician who's willing to listen. I think it is totally feasible to get your genome back or your cancer report or your x-ray and only hear a subset. So that's my highly opinionated view about fear. It doesn't mean that there's nothing to be fearful of, but you have to do it in advance. You can't say, read my genome, and then the doctor says to you, oh, there's something kind of serious about your genome, do you want to hear it? You know, at that point you can't say, no, I don't want to hear it, because you've already heard it, right? You've heard, in fact, your fantasies go crazy at that point. Certain communities have essentially eliminated diseases like Tay-Sachs, not by some fancy gene therapy, not by some fancy small molecule, but by information. Wisdom, I would go so far as go beyond information, beyond understanding, to wisdom. It is a wise thing to not bring a Tay-Sachs baby into the world when you have a family that is going to be psychologically distraught by it, economically impacted, and eventually the kid's going to die a painful death. And there are many other diseases which now have orphan drugs that correspond to them, but they're hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And hopefully they live a long time, but they're going to consume millions of dollars. Is it cost effective? Is it wise to say, I'm going to save millions of dollars by waiting until somebody gives me a better graphical user interface, or whatever it is we're waiting for? We need action. You know, I fully agree.